Hey, I want to thank you again for all of your interest in my Raspberry Pi tutorial series. I promised to give away 3 Raspberry Pi 0Ws in the last video, and in today's video I'm going to pick the 3 winners. The number of entries wasn't as big as the first giveaway, which where I had almost 300. But that's okay, I've got a couple dozen. That just means that there is more of a chance for you to win. So I'm gonna go grab the list and I will pull 3 winners using the winner picker app that I created that I showed off about a month ago. So let's get the list. Here's the list. Here's a couple dozen names. And I'll say 3 winners. Submit. Congratulations, Eek, Maxwell, and Picket Fence Cartel. Congratulations to all 3 of you. I will be contacting you soon asking you for your physical address. Once I have it, I'll ship these pies out to you as soon as possible. I apologize if I'm a little bit slow this time around. It is the holiday, so I'm traveling a little bit, but I promise I'll ship them out as soon as possible. If you didn't win, don't fret. Even though this is the last tutorial and the last giveaway of the year, I'll be back with more tutorials and more giveaways soon. So subscribe to get notified of future videos and giveaways. Enjoy the tutorial in this video, and I hope you all have a very happy holiday season. See you in 2019. Hi there. Today I want to show you how to set up a passwordless Raspberry Pi. You can use this tutorial for any Linux system, so it's not just limited to the Pi. So if you don't already know how to do this, I hope you find this tutorial useful. So what we're going to end up with is we're going to use an SSH key that's on our computer and one that's on our Raspberry Pi, and the Pi will authenticate us using just our username and that file that's local. It's a little bit more secure, but one of the setbacks for this is that if you don't have this file and you're on a remote computer, you won't be able to log into your system without that, because at the end of this we're also going to disable password. So before we get started on our Raspberry Pi, you need to download this app called the PuTTY Key Generator. What this will generate is a public key and a private key for us. The private key stays with us and the public key goes on our remote system. You can download this on this page here. I will share the URL in the description below, and you want to download this puttygen.exe and run it. So once you run it, I'm going to show you how to do this. Click on Generate, make sure that RSA is selected. And it says please generate some randomness by moving the mouse over the blank area. So this is the blank area, so I'll move stuff around, and based on my mouse movements, it generated this public key for us. Now this public key can go on a number of remote systems. It also generates a private key for us that's going to stay on our local machine. So before I do anything else, I'm going to save this and make sure that I have it. The pop-up says, are you sure you want to do this without a passphrase? You can put a password on it if you want. I'm going to skip this part. So I'll say yes. So I'll name this my private key.ppk. That's the extension that PuTTY looks at, the PuTTY private key file. I'll save this. I'll also save my public key, even though I don't really need to. Public key. Don't need an extension there because it's being listed here. So the public key is public. It can be displayed anywhere, but still try not to share it. Where this private key is just for your eyes only. So once we have this, let's actually copy this, and we're going to go into our Raspberry Pi. So now back in our Pi, we want to make sure that we don't already have any SSH keys in here. So if you want to try and CD into the SSH directory, it'll say, either no such file or directory, or it'll have something. So let's actually create it. We'll do sudo make-dir SSH. If you do lsla, you should be able to see the SSH directory here. So I'll clear this and CD into our SSH directory. There's nothing here, but we want to create a file called authorized keys as dictated by our PuTTY key generator here, authorized_key. So we'll do sudo touch authorized keys. Now we have this file, and let's edit it. So we'll do sudo nano authorized keys, and I'm going to paste this here. Whoops, copied the wrong thing. Apparently, yeah, that's right, I copied the permissions. Anyway, so I'll paste this here. It's my public key. You can do it from here, or if you save the public key locally, you can open it in Notepad or Notepad++ and copy it here. Once I have this here, I'll Control-X, save it, right? Cat authorized keys if you want to read it again. So this is the string that was generated. And that's all we have to do on our Raspberry Pi end. And we already saved our private key locally. So let's actually exit this, and I'm going to reopen PuTTY and add our private key here. So I already have the configuration saved in my session called 196. So I'll load this. You can see it populates the IP address. On the left hand side, you'll see an option called connections. Under connections, you'll see SSH. Expand that and you'll see an auth. And inside that authentication option, you'll see a text box that says private key file for authentication. So you click on browse. Let's look for our private key. I already have it opened here, so my private key.ppk. I'll click on open. So I'll actually go back to sessions and save it. If you don't save it, you have to put in the private key every time you log in. That can get annoying. So save the configurations and press open. Click open it open in my other window. So if everything goes well, if I enter my username Pi, it should let me in without asking me for a password. Authenticating with public key RSA key to 2018-09-11. It worked, so I didn't have to type in my password. Perfect. I'm still getting the default password warning for Pi, so let's actually turn off a way to log in with passwords, because again, one of the setbacks is that before you do this is that if you don't have your RSA key handy, you will not be able to log in without a password or with a password. So let's actually edit our SSH configuration. So it should be, so the sudo nano is in the etc folder, SSH, and then sshd config. Yeah, so that's where this is. So you have this configuration file that's used for SSH. So let's actually, I'm going to search for password, and I need to do it one more time. There we go. So to disable tunnel clear text passwords, change to no here. So right now, password authentication option is set to yes, but it's commented out, so it defaults to yes actually. So we're going to uncomment this and change the yes to a no. Let's actually Control X, save it. We saved our configuration. We need to restart SSH. You can also restart your Pi. It does the same effect. So we'll do sudo service SSH restart. Let it restart. It normally takes a couple of seconds. There we go. Now I'm going to exit, and I will connect right back. So I'm opening it again. PuTTY configuration. Remember, 196. I saved the authentication here, so I don't have to browse for it every single time. Click on open. Let's open another window again. So I'll do Pi, login as, authenticating, and there we go. The warning is gone. I don't need my password. As long as I have that file, that key file, I can log into my Raspberry Pi without a password. It's a little bit more secure, and but again, there are some setbacks. So think about doing this before you actually do it. I hope you've learned something if you haven't already known how to do this. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments below. Also, remember to visit easyprogramming.net, where I'll be posting more tutorials. So you're seeing a preview of this website before the Raspberry Pi tutorials actually go up. So thank you for watching. Have a good one.